What's up? Welcome back to the 5 Reasons Gambling Show, Wednesday, May 3rd. Coming back for our third show this week, putting in overtime for 5 Reasons Sports. First off, and most importantly, we want to talk about Bettor Edge. That's the sponsor of 5 Reasons Sports and this show. Go to bettoredge.com/5RSN. Get yourself a $20 bonus from 5 Reasons Sports. You can use that to bet on tonight's games. You can invest in competitions. There's lots of stuff going on there. We'll look at the website here in just a second, but that is bettoredge.com/5reasons. Peer-to-peer betting, marketplace, great opportunity to get the best line and take advantage so that you can put money in your pocket. Today on the 5 Reasons Gambling Show, we'll talk about what went down yesterday. We had a competition that we broke down and how that went for myself in terms of my picks. And then I have 4 different picks for tonight's NBA set, and I have a couple MLB that are in action right now. So starting off, looking at last night's competition, it was 2 NBA games, Warriors and Lakers, and Heat and Knicks. Obviously a tough story that played out there in New York for us Heat fans. We had our chances, but lots of controversy with calls and things like that. Regardless, in that competition, we were able to get 7 out of the 12 right, which was good enough for me to take down first place. So if you want to join those competitions, you go to the competitions tab at the bottom of the screen. There is not a competition up for today, being that there's only one game, but there is MLB competitions, golf, baseball, there's basketball, every sport basically. NFL, we were doing competitions when that gets started up again for football. They're always there. You can create your own and invite people. You do private competitions and just invite your friends. And with Bettor Edge, the best thing is they're not taking fees. So all that money is staying in your pocket, unlike other sports books. So looking at today's set, I have 2 MLB games in action. I did not actually know that they were early starts, and so I had them on my card to talk about today. But I have the Mets money line, and they've been kind of up and down for me. We actually played the Mets last week with this starting pitcher, I think, on our first 5 Reasons Gambling Show. They're up 5-4 in the 7th, so hopefully that hangs on. And then I have the Diamondbacks and Rangers over 8.5. They have 5 in the bottom of the 4th, so that's looking good so far. Lots of MLB coming up later today, and you can always get the best line. We talked about last week closing line value. I've really kind of keyed in on MLB, even though I'm not a big baseball fan. I think the opportunity is pretty huge. Just looking at going to a game, I'm just going to pick the Phillies and Dodgers as an example. When you're in the game, you can click on the 3 dots and go to external prices. So if I go to external prices and I'm looking at this for the sake of it, let's just look at the money line. It's the easiest to find. Bettor Edge, 118. You can look elsewhere, 120, 115. Small value there, right? But if you continue to maybe throw out a 113 and get 7 cents value, if you keep doing that every day, it's definitely a huge advantage in the long run. So try to find advantages. Look where you see advantages in lines, whether it's totals, spreads, money lines, and then just strike on those because it's peer-to-peer betting. We're going to move into the NBA tonight. The matchup is Game 2, Celtics and 76ers. Sixers stole Game 1. Quite a surprise. I lost a little coin on that one, thinking that the Celtics would get it done without Joel Embiid. It is sounding like he's going to play tonight, so we're going to anticipate that that's going to be happening later tonight. Tip is 8 o'clock in that one from Boston. I have 4 different plays that I'm going to talk about. These are all available on Bettor Edge. And I'm going to start off really with looking at something that we did the other night also. So I'm going to go into the game. I'm going to go into our additional marketplaces to get to our athletes and look at what we have going on here. It is PJ Tucker. And I'm going to actually give 2 options here. PJ Tucker under a half of a 3-point made, basically saying that PJ Tucker is not going to make a 3-pointer. And I'm also going to go PJ Tucker, if I scroll up, points under 3.5 points. Both of them are plus money in the marketplace, plus 109 on the points, plus 148 on the 3. Why would I do this? And PJ Tucker is obviously a familiar face to Heat fans. In the last game, he had 0 points. He actually had 0 field goal attempts, period. When we look at the playoffs so far, his stat lines, 6 points, 0 points, 3 points, 3 points, 0 points in the Sixers' 5 games. He's averaging 4 field goal attempts a game in the playoffs, 3 3-point field goal attempts in the playoffs. So really, you're just hoping he doesn't make a 3. If he makes a three, you have a chance at least to get the points. If he just makes one, obviously you would lose the bet in terms of the under a half of a 3-point made. But I like those numbers, and I like the odds, being that it's plus money. I think with Embiid possibly coming back, most likely coming back, that it probably favors him a little bit more to have those opportunities. But if Embiid is to sit tonight, I would fire on this, because those opportunities that he gets from the corners are not going to be quite as prevalent with Joel Embiid out as to if Joel Embiid is in. Moving forward with Joel Embiid, talking about him, he's actually not in the marketplace right now. Sometimes sports books, Bettor Edge included, do this to protect themselves. If he were to not play and he was in the marketplace, those bets would be canceled anyways. But they haven't posted any Joel Embiid lines yet. I'm looking at assist for Joel Embiid. So should he play, and should they post this tonight later before tip-off? Obviously, as I'm speaking, we have about 5 hours before tip-off. Joel Embiid over 3.5 assists. The scheme that Boston employs, he's obviously just won the MVP. So they're going to go after him. They're going to double him. And that allows Joel to pass the ball out of there. And that's going to lead to assist opportunities. Obviously, it comes down to his teammates making shots. But when you look at Boston's scheme and how he's performed against it, he's went over 4.5 assists, and we're looking at 3.5. Over 4.5 assists in 7 out of 8 games the last 2 seasons against the Boston Celtics. I think he's going to take advantage of that. He's going to see what happened in the last game. His teammates played very well in his absence. He's going to try to dominate, but he's not going to just try to dominate shooting. He's also going to dominate by moving the ball and making the right basketball play. I'm going to move into my next play, which is, as my good friend Andy says, it's the Bet the House special here. Our best bet of the night, and that is going to be still an assist, talking about Jason Tatum. And I talked about this actually in the previous game, I believe when Tony was on with me. Jason Tatum over 4.5 assists. It's actually plus money, plus 101, almost even money, I guess. He's been over that number in 4 out of 5 against the Sixers this season. The only time that he did not go over was opening night, where he had 4. So he just barely missed that. So it would have been 5 out of 5 if he had one more assist on opening night. He's went over that number in 5 out of 7 this playoffs. You're getting a good number. You're getting a good value with the plus 101. That's why I'm going Tatum over 4.5 assists. And that's going to lead me into my last play here. So I'm going to go back out of the player props, and I'm going to go into the marketplace and look at and see what kind of open orders we got. So if we're looking here kind of as a breakdown of what Bettor Edge looks like, these are all plays that people have put in. So opportunities in the marketplace for me to buy. Obviously, the news of Joel Embiid playing tonight or potentially playing tonight has moved the marketplace. I think earlier today it was around 10. It's dropped down to, we can check external prices, 8, 8.5. Let's say 8 is the consensus. And so if we come back to Bettor Edge, really the Bettor Edge consensus is probably 7.5, almost 8. If you're looking at, the kind of minus 110 normal juice you'd see elsewhere. But what I'm going to key in on is right here. Boston minus 9, 9.5, and 10. I know Joel Embiid is coming back. I know that the Celtics lost game 1. But I still think the Celtics are a better team. And I think that there is value in these minus 9, 9.5, 10s. And if you look at the money, plus 115, plus 117, I'm going to exclude this one because that doesn't make a lot of sense, right? When you're looking at this, plus 108 for a bigger number. But let's say these two, minus 9, minus 9.5, I would throw in on those. I think that Boston can still go out there and dominate this game. It's a must win. You can't go down 0-2 and bring it back to Philly. Boston is probably the biggest title favorite, if not top 2, top 3. I think that they can potentially get this game, and I would like the opportunity to bet it, not on the money line, certainly, okay, because you're going to pay a hefty fee for that. Look at that, minus 314. I'm not interested in that number. But at plus money at that number, just a little bit above the consensus spread, I think I'm looking at Boston minus 9 or minus 9.5 as a good value here. Just a peek in here real quick. Philly to get the next one, almost 3-1. If you like Philly, that's a good value there with JoJo coming back. Almost 3-1 value on the Philly money line. So I hope you guys enjoyed my breakdown. We'll continue to have these. We're looking at booking some guests and having more than just my voice on here as we go through. So my bets one more time: Tatum over 4.5 assists. The Celtics at minus 9, minus 9.5, plus money on those. Embiid over 3.5 assists if he plays tonight. And then those PJ Tucker plays under a half 3-point made and under 3.5 points Let's get those bets. Let's cash those tickets. Make sure you check out bettoredge.com/5RSN for a $20 bonus from 5 Reasons Sports. Appreciate you coming in. Have a great Wednesday. And go Heat coming up this weekend.